Hi, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the 𝤉𝐄𝐄 and the Torah channel, and we are trying to work through this, and we're going to try to make it this week. And for those of you guys out there that have never been a part of this reading, we love you. Congratulations. Thank you for all being out here. Thank you for being listening into this. We are the family that believes all of the scriptures. When people have told us that the laws, the statutes, and the commands have been fulfilled, nailed to the cross, dead with Moshe, we don't believe that. In fact, we believe quite the opposite of that. We believe that these precious laws, statutes, and commands that are found in the first 5 books of scriptures are very relevant to all of us today. And for all of us that are out there that are eyes wide open, Torah keepers, law keepers, the world that we are into right now is kind of an exciting place. Now, for those who do not know, that are stuck in mainstream media that is completely hiding what is going on, it is unfortunate, but it is with the end times apocalyptic world that we are in that we see the beginning of the end. And when I say the beginning of the end, I'm not here to scare anybody, because the beginning of the end for those of us who are loyal to the creator of the universe are very exciting times. Now, if you guys have not been storing up some gasoline, I would strongly urge you guys to start getting some gasoline going, right? We are in a world right now that we are just about to enter into a phase that is going to change the world forever. We will never, ever be the same population that we are right now. And I truly believe that we are in an apocalyptic time. We are in a time of the unveiling. Because what you see right before our eyes is you see a 1%. You see the axis of Epstein. You see a large group of pedophiles and cannibals and disgusting Satanists that have completely owned the world. And instead of just fessing up and saying, yes, I was involved in child massacres and Satanists and all this other stuff, they decided to start dropping bombs on a very civilized country. Now, the problem with this civilized country is that the religion of this civilized country is a religion where if you end up dying for your religion, it is a tremendous thing. Now, I have been very, I put on one of my channels, May Yahuwah Baruch Iran. And I was very dismayed with the Torah keepers that came through, and they said, you should not be Baruching anybody. Nobody should be Baruch. And they went on to say that Islam is a terrible, terrible religion. And for those who have never studied Islam, it is a lot like a Torah keeping world, right? There's different rules, there's different regulations, but when you're looking at Islam, you're looking at a religious system that came directly out of Abraham. It came directly out of one of the sons of Abraham, that these people are serving however they want to serve their Elohim, right? Does this give us a right to go spread freedom and blow up all of their religious leaders? What has this done for any of us? The problem that is going to happen because of this is that every single one of us are unfortunately going to be paying this price, not just at the gas pumps and not just as the world is spiraling into destabilization, but you have the entire world now that hates Israel. They hate the United States of America. And it's not the people of the United States of America that have done this. However, those that voted for Donald J. Trump, which was 80% of the American people, this is now what is happening. And so we have a satanic monster that has done more damage in the way of kills than Adolf Hitler. Now let that sink in. When we look at Operation Warp Speed and 500 million people dying worldwide because of that operation, And now we have basically more wars. This is an apocalyptic war. And if you think that Iran is ever going to get on their knees and wave a white flag to a bunch of pedophiles and baby killers, they're not going to do it. So what we are seeing as Torah keepers is exciting, right? I truly believe that we will, at some level, have a second Exodus. Like, there is going to be such great misery and bloodshed that is coming worldwide that this is the absolute best time right now to start serving our Creator. If you don't know what the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator are, guys, stick around. We're just about to go over them, and they are so exciting. They are so amazing, because when you look at these laws, these statutes, and commandments, this is the government that we have actually voted for. We didn't vote for this Epstein class of pedophiles, right? Free men don't vote. I would hope that everybody in the Torah community for sure didn't cast a ballot. And if you did, please understand that we're not part of this government. We're not part of any government that is out there except for Yahuwah's government. And so as we get into this, guys, we're going to get into some praise and worship music. We're going to get into some beautiful discussions on the commandments of our Creator. And we're going to make sure that we are ready. And this is what we are hoping to do, is between Yah Scriptures, between the Torah Radio Network, between all of the things that we are trying to do at all times, all glory to the hand of our Creator, we're trying to give the assemblies out there the tools that we need. And if you guys have never heard of the Torah Radio Network, I would love to put this, Nicole, if you can throw some links in there at some point, if you will. The Torah Radio Network is something that is a way to isolate ourselves from the satanic world system. Prior to the Torah Radio Network, we never really had much of a choice when it came to music, and now we do. We have all the tools that we need. We have scripture tools. We have free apps. We have all of this stuff. There is no better time right now, my friends and family, than to start serving the Elohim of Abraham, of Isaac, and Yaakov. That is the living Elohim that is with us today. So with that, let us get into our music.
Yahuwah, keep our hearts awake. We won't be fooled by masks they make. We follow Yahushua through the test. With Ruach strong, we won't rest. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Yahushua came to kin to stay, but crowds rolled out and stole the shalom away. They whispered he is out of his mind. Fearful hearts were weak and blind, but truth will draw the hungry near, and light will shine when men fear. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk away the narrow way. Men from Jerusalem came with lies, calling light evil in disguise. They said he cast out evil by evil, but Yahushua spoke what's real. Can evil fight itself and stand? A divided ray will break no plan. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. He entered the Chikot travel, not dressed in pride, not wrapped in scorn. He said, workmen come as they are, not polished clothes, but truth's own mark. Then he warned the people, watch their ways. Many look clean, but rot inside remains. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way the narrow way. We're the ones who praise with lips, but hearts are cold and filled with tricks. They say they see, but they are blind. They lead the weak and twist the mind. They hide in darkness, smile for gold, but inside them poison grows. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach, the truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. He said, take up my stake of Kai. The easy road has no bright sky. The trials come like gifts sometimes, but truth reveals their hidden signs. He winnows grain from empty talk and calls the faithful ones to walk. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Give us eyes that really see, not fake religion, not deceit. Let our roots go deep in light, so we the world don't choke what's right. We seek your wisdom like pure gold. We walk the truth, we won't grow cold. Yahuwah, shine your light in me. Let my heart be clean and free. No fake words, no hidden sin. Ruach of truth, burn within. We take the stake of Kai today and walk your way, the narrow way. Love his name. Yahuwah's will is still the same. A man asked in the street that day, what does Elohim require my way? Yahushua answered clear with Moshe's words for all to hear. Honor Yah, walk his path, love him more than pleasures wrath, serve with heart and soul as one, keep the Torah till it's done. Hear my people, Moshe cried, walk in truth, don't turn aside. Honor Yahuwah, love his way, keep his works night and day. Honor Yah, walk his path, love him more than pleasures wrath, serve with heart and soul as one, keep the Torah till it's done. Not just lips, but living fire. Not just rules, but deep desire. A heart that serves, a soul that stays. That's how we walk Yahuwah's ways. Honor Yah, walk his path, love him more than pleasures wrath, serve with heart and soul as one, keep the Torah till it's done. So I will listen, I will do, I will love with Ruach true. Yahuwah, seal me in your word. Let my life be rightly heard. Yahuwah, seal me in your word. Let my life be rightly heard. Honor Yah, walk his path, love him more than pleasure's wrath, serve with heart and soul as one, keep the Torah till it's done. Moshe spoke with righteous flame. Israel, guard Yahuwah's name. If a dreamer comes or signs appear, test the word, don't walk in fear. If a man or Nevi rise, showing wonders before your eyes, and says, let's follow other Elohim. Don't be fooled, don't follow him, for Yahuwah test your heart to know, will you love him or let go? Walk in Torah, truth and all, cling to Yahuwah, that's the law. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true, Ruach burns his fire in you. Adon reigns from Shemayim high, Torah lives, it will not die. That Nevi or dreamer's done, for falsehood fights against the sun. He spoke rebellion, led astray, turned your heart from Yased away. Purge the evil, let it cease, that Israel may live in peace. Hold to the covenant, strong and sure, Kodesh life will keep you pure. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true, Ruach burns his fire in you. Atam reigns from Shemayim high, Torah lives, it will not die. If your brother whispers low, let's serve Elohim we used to know. Don't consent, don't hide the lie, love Yahuwah till you die. Whether wife or friend so dear, don't let their voice bend your ear. Yahuwah alone is King of all, answer his Kodesh call. If a city turns to sin and shame, serving Elohim, denying his name, search it out, test the word, see if the wickedness occurred. If it's true, burn it down, and cleanse the land, remove the crown. Let it stand as warning clear, that Yahuwah's name you fear. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true, Ruach burns his fire in you. Adon reigns from Shemayim high, Torah lives, it will not die. Let none take spoil, nor gold, nor gain, for Yahuwah's honor must remain. Will turn his wrath, show mercy again, and Baruch your fields with early rain. Because you listened, walked upright, loved the truth and chose the light, hold fast Israel to his way, for Kodesh fire will not decay. Baruch Yahuwah El, so true, Ruach burns his fire in you. Adon reigns from Shemayim high, Torah lives, it will not die. Baruch Israel, chosen line, stay faithful, strong till end of time. Through false words, through wicked schemes, Torah cuts through broken dreams. Stand in truth, don't compromise. Yahuwah tests the heart, not eyes.
All right, beautiful family. Thank you so much for being a part of this praise and worship side of the house. Now we're going to go live. It's 11:30 our time right now. We are going to go live at 1:15 with another praise and worship with a bunch of lyrics, some Shabbat music that has never ever been released on the internet anywhere, some stuff I've been working on this week, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. But we're going to stream it at 1:15 and just continue on with praising our Creator. And you know, we live in such a sick world that none of us take a look at the way of our Creator and the perfection. And I write a tremendous amount of music, and this is pretty much what my life is right now. I go from extremes. I go from a 2 year sitting there typing every single word of the scriptures to 2 years of just writing up music and putting music and producing it. And I am so excited that we are able to get the tools to the assemblies that are out there. And we have little assemblies that are all over the world that are looking for this music, that the same stuff that we're doing right here, they want to pass on to their assemblies. And so we are setting this up for them so that they're able to get the music and get it down, and that we can just celebrate our Creator. And as I'm writing music, it is one of these things that is, I see the perfection of the Creator of the universe, Yahuwah. All esteem and praise and glory and honor. And it doesn't take too much when you sit and you just start trying to describe the world that you see around you. And a lot of times the music that you guys will hear, it'll be about an avocado seed. It'll be about an egg. It'll be about the wonders of this world that have been built into a perfection. And we live in this world where we do not esteem and we do not praise our Creator. And every time that you guys inhale and every time that you guys exhale, that is the Creator of the universe that has created the air that we're breathing. Every time that you guys flip your eyelids and you get the dust and you get the debris and you put some water into those dry eyes, that is the hand of the Creator of the universe. Every time that you hear the reverberations of the vibrations of my tongue and my lungs coming off of my teeth and my lips, that you guys are able to hear, that you're able to translate this back from the vibrations of simply what I'm saying back to understanding. Who could create such a thing? Who could design such amazingness, right? As I sit and write the music, I have a hard time sometimes putting together five verses that make sense. And I look around and see that everything, and there's millions, if not billions, of critters and creatures and things and bacterias and things that we cannot see, things in the ocean that are so miraculous, so mesmerizing. Everything that our Creator does has worked to perfection. And He has given these lands to us. He has said, I want you to occupy them. I want you guys to have a life. I want you to find happiness. I want you to serve me. And that is what the world doesn't do. We have 400,000 different religions on the books, 100,000 different Christian religions. Every single one of them has a different doctrine. Every single one of these religious systems has, what do we believe? And when you look at the what do we believe, it's not what Scripture says. When you worship on a Sunday, but yet we have a seventh-day Shabbat, you are making the Creator of the universe frown at you. When you eat unclean foods, when you take and you consume pork, that's the communion of the devil. Do you understand this? When you guys know that pork is bad for you and that the food laws that we have doesn't even include pig as food. It's never ever been food. And so if you want to take these lying scribes and pollute your body with toxins, this is the world that we live into, and nobody seems to care. But you know what? There is a remnant. There's a group. There's all of us that are out there. Those, you and me, and those who care what our Creator has to say. And when Ezra gets the information that the only people that are saved is a drop of water compared to a wave, can we hope that we are in this drop of water? Can we hope that we are making our Creator proud? Most people don't even know what loyalty is. You can't say you're loyal to your parents when you curse at them and you won't do what they say. Same thing. You can't say you love your Elohim Most High. You can't say you love the creator of the universe, those who call him God, with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, when you hate the words he says. You can't say that these commandments are for another day, another generation, another time, when scriptures very clearly tells us they are for us right now, right this moment, for all times and for all generations. There's never been a culling or a nulling or a killing off of the law. It doesn't exist. So why is it that we follow all of these satanic religions? Why is it that we are okay thinking once saved, always saved? Thinking all of this demonic activity? Guys, it is time for us as an assembly to rise up. It is time for us to serve our Elohim in everything, because the world isn't going to get any better. What you're seeing right now, you're not going to see a Satanist Donald J. Trump that just says, okay, I'm going to quit. You see a guy that is so pompous and so arrogant and so anti-Christ-like that this guy thinks he's the Messiah. He thinks he's the Lord and Savior of the United States of America. In fact, the entire world. He's the United States team policing America. And it's never going to get any better. If you think one of these guys, or if you think that the people that just had their clerics and their religious leaders murdered, if you think that they're going to be done, we have done it, guys. We are here. Congratulations. We've made it to the end times. Now all we got to do is watch the world go crazy. And at some point, we need to wait up, and we need to wait for the second Exodus, because it's coming. It is coming. You don't have to be a prophet to understand this. You don't even have to read writing on the wall. You can see it very, very clearly. So there is no greater time than this moment today to bring these Torah commands into your life, to bring our Messiah Yahushua, into your heart, into your life. And when I say bring him into your heart, I'm not saying you ask Jesus, Messiah Yahushua, into your heart, because we don't have that. It's not in scriptures. Where do we get this? Why do we all sit there and do this, right? Because we have been programmed. We have all been lied to. We've been hoaxed. So with that, Mr. Cole, will you please say hi to our brothers and sisters that are out there?
Don't you want to pray and
go
all the way around?
Yeah, let's do that. Here, say hi to everybody, then we'll pray.
Okay. All right, so let me get back up to the top. We have Joanna. We have Sarah and William. Sorry.
Sister Sarah and William.
Sister Barb is who I was going for. Luann, Danny Boy, Grace, Jeremy and Callan, Rafriya. We love those guys. Sue, Josh Rhodes, Brandy and family, and I should say Sister Barb and family. I missed family on that.
Hey, we know who you guys are out there, Sister Barb and family. we know there's a little quorum of you guys, and we love y'all.
Jeannie, not of this world.
Hi, Jeannie.
Rosa, I think that's a new name, so welcome to you.
Hi, Rosa.
Rick Johnson.
What up, Rick?
So I have a Z Squire 1, I think is the name, so welcome to you. She's new as well.
How do you know it's a she?
Because her picture's a girl.
Oh, okay. All right, hi, Z Squire.
Christina. I'm scrolling here, daughter of Yah. Mike. Raw Foods, Raw Life.
Nice.
Honeymoon Stitch, Brian. I'm still scrolling. We got a full house today. Colleen. The Grand.
Graham.
Mama
CA too. Wow. This is loaded. This is what you call a baraka, right? This is the Hebrew name for blessing. Amazing. Mystical.
Yahuwah's Bat. Expose 777 Hannah. And I'm still scrolling. I think that's everybody.
All right. Well, if we missed you, we are very, very, very sorry. And for those in the future, we love you. Welcome, 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 welcome. Cade, will you please open us up in prayer?
Gracious Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing this family to us. We thank you for being able to congregate with all the people around the world from all around different places that you have blessed us, that we're able to celebrate the Shema with them today. And we thank you for your blessing. And we thank you for your Son. Thank you for your Torah. We ask that your Ruach is upon us today. As we dive into your words, we dive into your commands, that your Ruach opens our eyes and that it shows us the truth, that it shows us what we need to see. And we thank you for all in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Jade, will you please open us up with the Shema as well?
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. It shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be frontlets between your eyes. and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
My precious friends and my precious family that is out there, for those who do not know who Yisrael is not this little satanic country that is over in the Middle East. It is not a group of people that have abortion clinics from one edge of their coast to the other edge. It is not a group of people that believe that they are going to create the greater Israel. It is the people that are law keepers, the people that keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator. That's the people who are Yisrael. And so in this Shema right here, this is addressing you. This is addressing anybody. Now, a lot of people will go, well, how do you join this tribe? How would you join Yisrael? Well, it's very clear. From the beginning of scriptures all the way to the very end, there are certain qualifications that qualify people as being the children of the Most High. Now, that sounds like an incredible title, doesn't it? It sounds like something like, yeah, we want to be children of the Most High. Well, it comes very clear that the children of the Most High are under a different government. We are under a different set of rules and regulations. Albeit, we are sitting right here on a Shabbat. We are keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. We are coming together as a group all over the world. Now, when you say this and when you present the commandments of our Creator to people, you get several reactions, right? You either get the eye rolls, you get the anger, you get the scoffing, you get the puh, and they walk away. There's a lot of different things you get. Now, for those of us who have read the scriptures, you understand that keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator is literally a badge of honor. It's the only way that we are going to be identified as the people of Yah. And so the people of Yah, all of us, there's not a lot of commandments. You know, we've been hoaxed again by the satanic religious system that is over there in the Middle East, and everybody thinks there's like 620 laws. Now, when you actually read through the laws that they present you, this little group of people, they duplicate them, they throw all their stuff in there, and they do all sorts of stuff. Now, we have to understand a few things. Number one, the laws of our Creator are very simple to keep. They're very intelligent. It's a very high IQ'd set of rules and regulations. And these rules and regulations are what define us as either members of the Creator's club, or we are, obviously, members of Hasatan's club. Now, when you look at the rules and regulations of Satan, you can't really identify any, can you? Other than the laws don't exist. So that is what you will get out of the satanic religious systems that listen to the words of Satan. They will say the laws are dead and nullified and dead, gone, adios. But for us and the people, the remnant, we love them. And let us get into them. And what we are going to do is we are going to go over the 157 commands that we can do today. We're going to go over them, and every one of us, we're just going to read through them. Now, if any of you guys, our family, our brothers, sisters, anyone in there, have any kind of questions, let us talk about them. Let us discuss them. This is the amazingness of the technology of the world we are in, that we can all sit around all over the world. There's probably somebody from every continent on here right now, and that's simply astounding.
We just had somebody from London say hi.
Hi. Well, there you go. London. There we go. So let us get into these, and if you guys have any questions. And as we are going through them, I would like to encourage all of you guys to think about the madness of letting the laws be dead. When we are looking at these commandments, the very first one, commandment number 1, being fruitful, we must understand that the devil wants us to always have the opposite of every one of these. Because these Satanists that tell us the laws are dead would have you not be fruitful. They would have you say, okay, well, the laws are dead, so go and hang out, lose your job, sit on the couch for the rest of your life, get depressed, and never ever come out, right? See what happens when we're not fruitful. See what happens when the devil takes over our mind and heart and soul. So continuing on, commandment number 2, gentlemen, let's go.
Multiply. Yahuwah wants us to multiply the earth. He wants us to, as well as being fruitful, he wants us to spread about the earth. Replenish the earth. When you chop something down, put it in to replace it. When you chop down a tree, plant a new tree. The herb bearing in every tree. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, we got to, what do we do?
Subdue it. Have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature. Yahuwah gave us his earth. He gave us control over it. He says man will have control over the fish, the fowl, and the beasts of the air.
Absolutely. And while we're on this, I'm going to throw Miss Nicole not quite under the bus, but I need her to go find a link for us because we just released a brand new PDF that's live this week right now. It's called the 157 Commandments of Yahuwah. And every one of these commandments, we haven't even told anyone about this. We didn't tell people we're writing this book. The book is done. It's a big book. There's a free EPUB on the site, and there's the free PDF. And so Miss Nicole will pop that in there. And so I would grab this, guys. And this is exactly what we're reading, except it has really cool pictures in it. You guys can read it with your kids. You guys can do all this stuff. What we are trying to do is show people how cool it is to keep the Torah, right? How state of the art you actually are by keeping the Torah, and how fuddy-duddy, how old you really are when you are putting this on the tree, when you live in idiocracy and say, oh, it's all dead. So enjoy that, guys. Let us know what you guys think when you guys download that. If we did a good job, if you guys see anything weird, let me know. We're it's a work in progress. Okay.
The herb bearing in every tree is for food. Yahuwah cares about us so much. Before he ever gave us any sort of food commandments, he goes, here's your food, here's what you can eat so you don't starve to death. He gave us certain things to eat already before it ever started. Man and woman should build their own families. Yahuwah says a man and woman should build a family. They should leave for their parents and build a family. Master sin. We should be the ones who we should control ourselves so we don't sin. And what sin is going against the Torah.
Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Understand this, my friends. Leviticus 11 is literally the dietary guideline. Like, if you didn't understand anything in scriptures except Leviticus 11, that would keep you fed properly. Because in it, we learn things that, number one, like zebras are not food, giraffes aren't food, catfish aren't food, vultures, hawks, ravens, all these things that eat stuff that is like what you would call polluted meat, right? The stuff with the bacteria on it, the maggots coming out of it. All these things that we're not supposed to eat are the things that enjoy those kind of things. It's the same for pig, right? Everybody's like, oh yeah, it's if you just fry it up and you get rid of the worms, you get rid of the parasites and this. We're never supposed to be eating this, right? It's never supposed to have to go to the extreme of frying this to the point that you have to guess. You're literally rolling the dice, taking a bite of this. And not only that, is pig cross-contaminates everything in your kitchen. And so that's one of the things down here that we are really trying to educate the end users, the people out there, that you should not be eating pig. And that makes us really weird, right? Like, we own a clean food restaurant per se, and it's frozen food that is only clean food of Yah's stuff. And so as we try to educate the people down here, you always have these people that are the pig lovers, right? That Jesus allowed you to eat unclean food. You know, Jesus wants you to get sick, is what people are saying, right? When they don't read their scriptures. Now, number one, we don't call our Messiah Jesus because that's a pagan name. It's like Jesus. He was not called Jesus. There was no J's in Hebrew, right? The letter J does not. It wasn't invented till like 1526. We don't have that. And it's just like in Spanish-speaking countries, my name is no longer Jason. I am Yason. And it doesn't matter if I want people to try the j sound. There is no j sound. It's a ya sound. And so let's get the naming right and make sure that we're not calling out to Jesus or to a title of a god, right? God is like, it's calling somebody Mr., right? Oh, hey, Mr., is that your name? Do you want to be called Mr.? Do you want to be called King this or that? That's not your name, right? So continuing on, let's roll.
Do not eat the blood. Yahuwah said, do not eat the blood. He said that his life is in the blood. If you eat the blood, that is an abomination to him. If you need further proof that Satanists eat it for drugs, they eat the blood for drugs, and that is just more further proof that we should stay far away from eating any sort of blood.
Absolutely.
Walk before him and be perfect. Let's just do walk before Yahuwah and be perfect. Be perfect by obeying his commands and doing as he tells us to do and obeying them fully. Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments. The biggest one, with over 53 commands, and everything here we should be keeping.
And it comes down to, again, more rules and regulations. And the rule and regulation of this one, every male shall be circumcised at 8 days old. And the good thing is that we do have circumcision inside of North America in various places. A lot of places don't. But it is one of these things that we don't do it at 8 days old, right? We've gone away from this. And this is one of these things that sometimes people don't get. But it is a physical mark up on us, just like we have a physical mark of tzitzits. For those of us that wear fringes on the four corners of our outfits, it's the same thing, right? What are we doing? Well, we're trying to conform to the laws, statutes, and commandments that our Creator has given to us. And so by us wearing tzitzits, by us having circumcision, by us circumcising our hearts, right, we are conforming to these laws, statutes, and commandments that our Creator has given to us. Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah. Again, for all you young parents out there, I will tell you as a veteran of raising children, I got twins that are 22 years old, and I got the baby of the family, the midget, sorry, that's not it. He's actually outgrown me. But the small guy, he's, had we not taught, he's 19, he's almost 19. He is not, had Nicole and I not found Torah a little over a decade ago, my kids, it wouldn't be good, right? I had already really ruined my children from ages 1 to 10 by being in Babylon, by raising them as the Babylonians do, by letting them be babysat by the TV and the wickedness and having wicked music and all this other stuff. The greatest pagan stuff I ever did was how I raised my kids. And it is only by the hand of the Creator of the universe that somehow he was able to wake us up and get us on the right path and get rid of all this demonic stuff. And it is, had we not had these 12 years of keeping them in the law, statutes, and commandments, they would be wild. I would not be able to control them right now, even less than I'm able to control them. And so it is very imperative that us as families, that we sit down every single night and we pray with our family, that we read scriptures with our family, that we're investing our time into this. And, I advised an individual this week that lives in the United States of America, and they have these jobs, and they just want to spit out a kid, right? They want to spit out a kid. And I told them, I said, listen, if your job is to simply spit out a kid for a trophy, and you are going to immediately put them into daycare, you're immediately going to do all this other stuff, you're going to go back to work, I told them it's probably better that you do not have children. Because if parents, and again, before everybody starts throwing rocks at me, please understand that when we take our kids and we put them into daycare, when we put them into a government educational system, there's nowhere in scriptures that says this, right? Somehow we are delivering them over to the hands of the government, and we're making them indoctrinated slaves. And so as I was simply telling them that I believe it is child abuse when we simply have kids to have kids and we stuff them in there. Now I understand there's always certain things where we end up as a single mother or a single father, and there's no way possible, right? There's nothing that we can do. But we can still give every last bit of time that we have to our kids. And in that moment of giving this time to our kids, we give them scriptures. We give them the right ways of Yah, because it will pay off in dividends. And the greatest thing that we ever did is that I shoved my wife to the office and I raised my kids. I homeschooled every one of my kids from the very thing. And that's one of the things. It was either my wife was going to homeschool the kids and she didn't want to.
Because they didn't listen to her.
They didn't listen to her, but they listened to me, Big Bear. And so they got educated the entire thing. And I gave up, 20 years of my life? And then when I say I gave up, that is a great choice. That is something that my kids will go off in their lives being educated not by the government, by learning this kind of stuff. And so, guys, I just wanted to toss that out there for any parents out there that are struggling, that are doing this. Don't give up. Do not give up. You got this. We got this. The assembly has this. Continue on.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations. Yahuwah's name is to be remembered. People have forgotten. They call him God now. They call him other names. They call him other titles. That is not Yahuwah. He said, my name is Yahuwah. 𝐤𐄏𝐄.
Yep.
Keep the Passover, Pesach. We're supposed to obey the first festival of the year, which is coming up soon, and it is remembrance. Keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread. There's another one right after Passover. We're supposed to keep that and eat unleavened bread and get leaven out of our house. There's one Torah for the Hebrew and the stranger. When Yahuwah said, I give you my Torah, he said, whoever wants to be part of my people, whoever wants to be part of Israel, the selected few, he's like, you will all keep the same Torah. All the commands will be the same to you.
Yeah, that's why, it doesn't matter what language you speak. It's all the same Torah, right? It's all the same stuff. It's one for all and all for one if you want to be a part of Yah's kingdom. Jade, will you please pet the dog? Okay, continue on, guys.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. The firstborn is supposed to be set apart. It's supposed to be special to Yahuwah. Yahuwah said to sanctify all firstborn. That is his chosen ones. There are no mighty ones for Yahuwah. The only one we should worship is Yahuwah, and we shouldn't worship any false mighty ones. You shall not make graven images. Yahuwah said, as to keep the graven images away, keep them out of the camp, keep them out of the people, that graven images are an abomination to him, and he is a jealous Elohim. If you make graven images, he will come down and he will cut you off from the land. Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. Yahuwah's name is special. It is the name of our Creator. It's what he told us to call him. And if we bring it to naught, we swear by his name, or we take his name in vain, then we bring his name to naught.
And here we are, right? We live in a society where if you say Yahuwah, Yahweh, nobody knows what that is, right? Only the Torah keepers know this. And then it's just, we're living such a deceptive world that nobody's doing this kind of stuff. This is why when we say, and that, again, like the Jewish religion, they won't even say Yahuwah, right? They'll say Hashem, right? And it's like, well, Hashem, the name? What do you mean the name? Why don't you just say God instead of Hashem, right? That's the thing, is in their doctrine, they literally cannot say the name of Yahuwah. And we've debated the rabbis down here before, and they're like, they're always trying to convert us, and we're always trying to figure out what their scoop is. But it's one of those things, right? Let's make sure that we have the name right. That takes us to the Shabbat day, and here we are, the Sabbath day. This is the biggest appointed time that we have all year round. We have our festivals, we have our feasts, we have all of our fun times, we have our times of penance, but we also have a weekly Shabbat. And when you guys look at the science behind the powering up of taking the day of rest, it's crazy. Like, every bit of science would reject working 7 days a week or doing how the rest of the world does it. Do you make more money? Certainly. Maybe. It's the hand of Yah. But does money mean anything when it comes to your soul? Nope. In fact, we know it's quite the opposite. We know that those who are always fighting for the money and looking for that take their eyes off the prize, which is keeping our souls taken care of. Continue on, Phillips. Anyone?
Honor your parents. We're to obey and honor our parents. They're older than us. Yahuwah.
Here.
Yahuwah has us obey them because they know more than us, and they are the ones who brought us into this world, so we are supposed to obey them and honor them. Do not kill. We are not supposed to take life from other people. We are not supposed to take life. We are not in charge of who lives and who dies. We're not supposed to do that unless there was a great sin committed amongst the people. We are not supposed to take life.
And you look at Israel. Look at the United States of America dropping bombs on the innocent civilians of Iran, right? How are we doing the will of the Creator of the universe by killing off life? How are we ever going to convince any of these people that are in a different religion that our Elohim and our Messiah love them, right? What we're doing right now is we are creating generations of hate. If the U.S. wasn't already hated enough, now we literally have a puppet of doom, this little orange man that is so vulgar and so disrespectful and so nasty. And it's like, I'm so embarrassed about being an American. I have to apologize to people. And it's not because of the American people. It's because of the leaders that have overtaken this country and are literally trying to sabotage every last bit of it. Because if we think there's going to be making America great again, right? If we think this is going to make America great again, people are out of their minds. But yet you still have our maggot friends, the people that will die for Donald J. Trump because somehow we should be taking over countries that aren't even ours. Continue on.
Do not break wedlock. It is a covenant that should not be broken. Do not steal. Stealing is another crime. Yahuwah wants honest people. If you needed something, you were to ask for it or to borrow it. There was no reason to steal from your brother. And he said, if you stole, you were supposed to repay it 5 times.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbors, right? Your neighbors, anything like this, right? In the event that you do such a thing and you ruin somebody's credibility or you make them lesser in the eyes of others around them because you have lied, You could basically start a ball rolling down a hill that you can't stop. Because let's just take for advantage, you say some false accusation, right, against a woman, and her husband hears, and he divorces her, puts her on the street. She ends up in the bed of another man, beaten. All sorts of horrible things happening, right? At the end of the day, who do you think is going to be responsible for this woman's actions at the end? For all of these things that, had you not made a false accusation against them, that her marriage would have still been good. These are all things that all of us as Yah's people have to think about. Are we doing verbal damage? Is what we are saying right or wrong? And this is, when I'm talking to you guys about this, there's 4 fingers pointing at me. No doubt. Everybody in this house knows that my tongue, it can light up this house very, very quickly. So we got to make sure that our speech, the way we speak, the way we talk, the way we conduct ourselves is Torah-based, is of Yah. Continue on, folks.
Do not covet anything of your neighbors. Yahuwah wants us to be content with what we have. He wants us to be happy with what we have. Coveting leads to more sin, leads to stealing things you would not do because you could not get your lusting eyes off something else your neighbor had. Do not make an altar from rocks that tools touch. If tools have touched rocks, do not build an altar out of it. Yahuwah wants it to be his way, and that is how he says to do it. Do not go up the altar by the steps. Probably something the pagans did, and that's something Yahuwah doesn't want us to do.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times, right? Laws for criminals, laws for doing evil stuff. And I mean, you steal a $1,000 cow and you end up paying $5,500 back. That's great retribution, right? I mean, that is the right way in the eyes of our Creator.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals. Yahuwah has a certain set of laws for criminals. When they kill someone, when they steal from someone, how their punishment should be, and if they're innocent, where they should go. Do not lie with beasts. It is an abomination to Yahuwah. It is an abomination to everyone around. It is something we should stay far, far away from.
It's an abomination of nature.
No sacrifice to other Elohim. We're not supposed to sacrifice animals to other Elohim, Yahuwah only. And that was meant for the priests to do when they were ordained. They were supposed to do sacrifices, and they were not supposed to be to anyone but Yahuwah. Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, or widow. They are already having enough struggles as is. There's no need to oppress them. Help them out when they need it.
Do not charge your brother interest. We are not the banksters trying to take over our people and make a quick buck off of our people, right? There's enough of people around there always trying to take our nickels. And when we are to the point we have to take a loan, if we're borrowing from Torah-keeping people, that's part of this tribe. Yah's tribe is we get some loans that are not interested.
Do not curse the ruler of your people. This is not for the people of today, the leaders of today. This is for the people back then that were leading the nations that were holy people of Yahuwah.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return it to him before sunset. Again, the Creator of the universe loves the broken. He loves the poor. He loves the afflicted. He's there. He's there for all of us, right? And in the event that somebody literally loses their clothes over having to survive, that's supposed to go back to them, right? They're not supposed to sleep through the night cold. That's how much our Creator loves us. That's how much He cares about every last thing. Continue on.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast. If it is killed by a beast, it is unclean. It is something you should stay away from. Do not touch.
Do not curse the ruler of your people. And I'm not talking about the orange fella, the guy, the Satanist, the giant Epstein Satanist that is out there doing all sorts of evil things. This is talking about a Kodesh land. This is talking about people that are under the Torah, people that are keeping Yah's laws, right? The people that are running these countries, according to the Torah, we take them outside the city gates and kill them. That's how we would rule these people.
No false report. It's the same as making false accusations against your neighbor. We are not supposed to do it. We're not supposed to make any false reports against our neighbor. Do not follow the multitude of evil. We should only follow Yahuwah, and we shouldn't follow the nations. We shouldn't follow the herd of evil. Do not judge righteously against the poor. Do not, if you see someone poor and there is someone rich, do not choose between them. Choose or judge only righteously, no matter what their financial status is. Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray. If your enemy's animal running away, bring it back. The animal isn't your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers. You wouldn't, did I miss one? Mm-hmm. Okay, what is it?
Help the animals of your enemy.
Help the animals of your enemy and stay away from rumors and gossipers, right? Again, the animals didn't do anything. And if you can see the compassion in the eyes of the Creator of the universe, nothing is left to chance. Nothing is not observed. And so in the event that you see an animal that has fallen or some bad thing has happened and it belongs to this guy that you can't stand, your obligations to the animal, your obligations to help this animal and not let this thing struggle. And if our Creator loves these animals to the effect that this is a rule and command, can you imagine how much you are loved? Can you imagine how much you are cared for? And that takes us to the stay away from rumors and gossipers, right? The Facebookers, all these things that ruin lives. How many lives has Facebook ruined? How many lives is X or whatever you call it, Twitter? How many lives has these things ruined from people? It's a mess. We live in a nose book land where, everybody's wanting everybody's drama and everybody wants to know this stuff. And you know what? There's no way to run a family when you expose your inner secrets like this. That's no way to build a family. Stay off these things, guys. Build your lives. Build your kingdom life. Not there. Where are we at, gentlemen? Jade, pay attention, please. You got the dots?
We're on take no bribes. We should have fair weights and measures and everything we do, and we shouldn't take bribes because those twist the ideas.
Yeah, look at where we're at right now, right? Not only blackmail, the files of Epstein, right? Everybody's blackmailed, so we don't know what's legit and what's not, other than we know there's a lot of exposing stuff out there. So there you go, Jake.
Do not oppress the stranger, love the stranger. We're supposed to not hurt those that we do not follow what we believe. We're supposed to teach them. We're supposed to love them because we were strangers in Egypt, and so Yahuwah knows what it's like to not know his laws or no freedom.
Dropping 2,000-pound bombs is not loving a stranger.
Keep your land rest in the 7th year. The land has a Shabbat too, for where you are supposed to take everything on the 6th year and then leave it alone on the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names. And this is a hard thing for a lot of us because the entire weeks, the days of the week are pagan. The month names are pagan. Everything in our society, we are stuck in Babylon, guys. We are stuck in captivity right now. And all of these Satanists around us, they all love this stuff. They love their word spells, and they love all this kind of stuff. But we're told not to mention pagan names. We're told to stay Kodesh. We have Yahuwah. We have Yahushua, right? These are the names that we have, the proper names. And, the rest of these guys, let them burn.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah. Like people in bathrobes, keep a feast of Yahuwah. Obey what Yahuwah says. Yahuwah gave it many times. He says, keep my feast and show up before me. Obey my feast.
And the bathrobe thing is about this fellow on YouTube that his name, we call him Bathrobe Bob. He's the anti-festival guy that says you can't do it and has all these people, and the dude dresses up in a bathrobe, comes out of his bathroom and starts like going off on Torah keepers. It's an amazing world we live in, honestly.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk. Something the pagans most likely did, and it's just something that's messed up.
They did do it. It wasn't most likely. They definitely did it.
Or they made the messenger, the angel, Yahuwah sends before you. If you were sent a messenger, an angel, they were able to prove that they were a messenger who would follow the commands they have because they were bringing commands of Yahuwah.
And every one of us, guys, more than likely, this commandment is going to be before you at some point. Imagine the world that we are coming into. It's not going to be the same world. The world that we knew of, whatever close to shalom that we have, it's over. And as this end time Armageddon-ish style war pops off, there's going to be a chance that you guys are in the middle of fire and fury and craziness, and you're going to have and listen to the messenger that Yahuwah sends before you. But just like the people of old, I don't think the Torah keepers are going to be left. There's just too many people. There's too many Torah keepers in North America, right? And that's the thing. A lot of people see what the actions North America does. But at the end of the day, I will tell you from just dealing with everybody with scriptures and all this stuff, the United States is full of a lot of people that are seeking truth, that are Torah keepers, that it is. So the American people do not represent the government of the United States by any shape or measure. Continue on, fellas.
Do not bow down to other Elohim. Yahuwah said again, he says he's a jealous El, and he says he wants you to worship him and him only. If you are worshiping and bowing down to other Elohim, you are breaking his commands. You are breaking his covenant with you. Serve Yahuwah. You can serve him by obeying him, by loving him. You can do that by keeping all of his commands here. Make no covenant with Elohim or outsiders of the land. You're not supposed to make covenant with people that are not obedient to Yahuwah's commands or other mighty ones. If someone comes to you and says, here, I have this mighty one, let's make a covenant to him, we do not do that. We only make covenant to Yahuwah, our Creator. Do not make use of anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make use of perfume on a normal person. These were special concoctions only for the Levites. Do not eat the fat. The fat is something that was specially Yahuwah. It was something that was supposed to be burned, something that's specifically for him. And the fat carries toxins and things you do not want to eat. Yahuwah says, do not eat the fat. Stay far away from it. Do what you're saying you are going to do. Be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, you must go through with it. Remember what happened with the guy who promised his daughter when he came home from the war. He promised whoever came first out the door he was going to kill, and he did that. Return what is your neighbor's. If they find something of your neighbor's, if you're borrowing something of theirs, return to them. Don't steal it from them. Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws. These are important laws. These are laws of what is clean, what is unclean, what you should eat, what you should not eat. This is an entire chapter and beyond of what you should deal with in life, what you should put in your mouth, and what you should consume. Women's time of separation. There is a time that they should have themselves, so they can be at peace. Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws. There is a specific set of hygiene laws. When you get dirty, when you touch a corpse, when you touch blood, when you touch anything unclean, Yahuwah has an entire set apart law for this. Keep the day of atonement, 𝤉𤄄𐤅𐤄 Yahuwah has a day that we should atone for our sins. The Levites would go in, they would atone for all the people's sins, and we should afflict our beings. And we can do that by fasting, even though it doesn't say to fast. Fasting does help afflict our beings. Do not uncover the nakedness of your family. Yahuwah said this is an abomination, this is a sin in his eyes, and you should stay far away from doing any of this. Do not take your woman's sister for a wife. Learn this with Rachel and Leah, with Yaakov, when they were sisters, and they were fighting the entire time, and there was no peace at all in the family. Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness. You are supposed to stay away from this. This is their time to rest, and you should not be with them. You should not sacrifice your children to Moloch. You shouldn't sacrifice them at all, but you especially shouldn't do it to Moloch, just like they did on the island. Do not be a sodomite. That is very evil. That is wicked in the eyes of Yahuwah. Stay far away from that. Be Kodesh, be holy. We are called to be a Kodesh people, a set-apart people. He gave us his command, and he said, you are my people, be Kodesh. Do not reap the corn of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard. It is for the poor, for the widow, for the fatherless, those who needed help. You would leave some in the corners so they could get food when they needed it. Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor. More commands and honesty. Yahuwah wants an honest people. He wants an honest group of people that will not take their neighbors or not take the people around them and hurt them and lie to them and steal from them or defraud them. Do not lie or be a liar. Yahuwah wants us to be honest. Yahuwah wants to be honest and not lie or say bad things.
Did you lock up there?
Yeah.
Locked up? All right.
Going back to the old way.
That's all right. Needs a new fan on the processor.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due. When someone works for you, and you should pay them their fair wage. You should pay them what you promised them.
Do not harm the disabled. Can you believe we actually have to have a command like this?
No.
This is the world that we are into, right? Obviously, there was a problem back in the day where you had to identify who not to harm. And this is the danger of taking these laws and putting them in the trash or in the garbage can, because you're dealing with people that have no respect for the actual laws of our Creator. So you never know what's going to happen. Do not endanger your neighbor. Go ahead, Kate.
We are supposed to not hurt our neighbor. We're supposed to keep them protected. We're supposed to keep them safe. We're not supposed to put them in harm's way. Yahuwah does not want us hurting other people and endangering them. Things that will endanger them, he said, do not do. It's just more commands and compassion, more commands and thoughtfulness. Do not hate your brother. He is your family, and you should love him.
How you doing on that?
Good.
You doing that? You guys do it? You guys, everybody good?
Yeah.
Are we hating our brothers less around here?
I think so.
You think so? We're doing better, aren't we?
So, yeah.
I
would say so.
Yeah. Ever since I put the knives away, you guys have stopped trying to cut each other.
That's true.
I'm just kidding, guys. Continue on.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin. If you see your neighbor in sin, then you should rebuke him. And then if the neighbor doesn't listen after you rebuke him, then you go to someone else. You bring to a judge. There's a lot of people say, don't judge me because they're sin, but this is completely different than what they think.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Big thing, right? This is the Christians get this, right? They're like, oh, well, I love God with all my heart, mind, and soul, and I love my neighbors myself. That means I'm saved. We're heading up, waiting on the magical rapture school bus. You have a guy they call JC honking the bus, and come on, bring your pork chops and bring your zebra chews, and come on to the bus. It's sad, right? It's crazy, the philosophy that people have come across, and you have entire cable TV things like the Trinity Broadcasting Network that is like not only super satanic with the message, but super satanic in the entire Trinity discussion. Continue on.
Do not diverse your cattle. There were specific cattle. They are supposed to stay with their own breed of cattle, and it was to do not mix them. That just creates issues, that creates health problems within the animals. Do not mingle your seed. When you plant a field, you're supposed to keep the seeds away from each other so they don't mingle and start creating hybrid fruits or vegetables. Do not mingle linen and wool. When you put those two together, they create a type of vibration that is extremely harmful for your body. Do not lie with a taken woman. If you know the woman is there, you should not lie with her. You should not lie with someone out of wedlock. And Yahuwah said you should not be an unfaithful person. And if you're an unfaithful person, you're supposed to be taken out and stoned outside the city gates. Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years. When you have trees, then you go into the land, or you grow trees for 3 years. Let that take in its nutrients.
Let it have power up.
Do not practice sorcery. Back in the day, they would be put to death. Sorcerers would all be gone.
And now we have the entire group of sorcerers, right? We have an entire religious system. In fact, most people don't even know that the religion of Judaism has sorcery into it, right? They got the Kabbalah. They got their little tree of life. This is all stuff that black magic that they pulled out of Babylon. When they went into captivity in Babylon, when they came out, they had all sorts of different rules and regulations and things that break the commandments of our Creator over and over and over. When you look at somebody and you call them a goyim, when you say, oh yeah, you're a dog, you're breaking commandments, right? You're not loving your neighbor as yourself, right? You can't label somebody and you basically say that they are going to burn in hell because of who they are, because that's the power of Yah. It doesn't matter what time in this world, everybody can seek our Creator at any point. People in prison do it all the time. These straight up killing murderers turn to Yah, and their lives are completely changed, right? It's any point at any time. We've never been told that it's game over until we take that last breath. Gents?
Do not round your beard or the corner of your head. These are traditions and rituals the pagans would do. They would round their beards, they would shave their eyebrows, they would take the corners of their head, and they would round it for a specific sacrifice, for a specific ritual, and Yahuwah said, stay away from that. If you're going to have a beard, have a beard. If not, just cut all off. Do not cut yourself for the dead. When you die, you're not supposed to cut yourself in mourning or sadness. We're not supposed to hurt our bodies like that. Do not get tattoos. Your body is not a sketch how you shouldn't make it. You should keep it clean and pure for Yahuwah. Do not prostitute your daughter. You're supposed to stay away from this as well. This is something that is evil, something that is harmful in the eyes. There's better ways to make money. There's better ways, more honest ways, and more holy ways to deal with money and to deal with any sort of income there. Do not defile your temple. We're supposed to keep the temple clean, but in this case, we're going to keep our body clean because our bodies are a temple for Yahuwah. Do not consult the medium. We should only consult Yahuwah, and we should not go to the satanic people. Respect your elders. The holy elders, people that are in the Torah, will be wise. They will be able to guide you in life. The people that are out there voting for the Satanists, that are out there cheering on Satanists, those are not the elders that we are supposed to be respecting. Those are the elders that we should stay away from because they are caught up in the Satanism themselves.
Let's clear this up, though. I mean, if somebody's old, the command is respect your elders, right? We don't care if they're a bunch of Satanists. We're still going to, I just want to make sure we're clear. We're not saying if you are a Satanist elder that we can do what Paul says and hate the widow, right? We can't disqualify the widow and do all this crazy stuff that Paul's letters have said.
The elders of the Bible are supposed to be the ones that guide the children and raise up the children, guide them on the path of the Torah.
Absolutely, but if somebody is old in the tooth, we should respect them regardless of who they are, and it doesn't. We can't control what they believe. We can't do any of this stuff. But if that is our commandment, is that we love our old. We love them and take care of them regardless of their beliefs. Have correct weights and measurements. Very important, right? Don't rip people off. If you're ripping people off for that extra little buck here and there, our Creator can rain gold chunks out of the sky if He wants it, right? He can have that bank error in your favor and have whatever money just appear. So don't think just because we're all dead broke, which most people I know and us, we're all dead broke, it's a good way to live. It is a very, you continue to depend upon the creator of the universe for all things, whereas those who receive a tremendous amount of money oftentimes start depending on themselves and start relying on that big bankroll to make sure that they are just where they are. Continue on.
Do not walk in the manners of nations. They don't keep the Torah, they don't worship Yahuwah, they don't do any of that, so we should stay away from them. We should only walk in the way of Yahuwah. Keep the Feast of First Fruits, Shavuot, 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐄, Pentecost, one of Yahuwah's holy days, one of the days we are supposed to take off and we are supposed to celebrate. This is one of these feasts, this is one of the days of Yahuwah.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets, 𝐤𝐄𝐅𝐄. This is the day I am looking for Messiah Yahushua to return. With all things, our Creator is incredible with his mathematics. When we are looking at his calendars and his math and the way that he had Messiah born, the way that he had all of these things, Passover happening, Shavuot, it's all an appointed time, right? Do not be surprised if on the day of blasting that we are out there pumping our little shofars and Messiah, starts bringing his people to Mount Zion. Don't be surprised.
Keep the Feast of Sukkot, 𝐉𝐄𝐄𝐅𝐿. It is a remembrance, also a practice, because we are supposed to stay in booths. Like the children of Israel left Egypt, they left in tents and booths, and so we are to do it as well, so that we also have experience and practice for when we do have to do this ourselves.
Yeah, and 𝐉𝐄𝐄𝐅𝐿 is like a secondary part of that, the Feast of Sukkot. So there's actually two things. It's a high Shabbat for those. It's the 8th day for those that don't know.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. And then the Holy Land, if you were to take Yahuwah's name and you were to blaspheme it, you were to be taken out and stoned. You're supposed to be removed from the camp because Yahuwah's name is supposed to be held in the highest regard. You're supposed to be respected above all things.
Can you imagine if we applied this rule to Hollywood? Can you imagine who would be left? Probably nobody.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another. More than the correct way to measure. If you kill your neighbor's animal, repay him with a new one. Repay injury for injury. We are if someone, it's eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Joshua said to forgive, because what is this? This is bringing more discontent, but it is injury for injury. Honor the Yovel, the Jubilee year. Every 50 years, there's
sevens and 50s.
There's supposed to be a release, things like slaves released, the debts were all off, things like that. We don't exactly know when that is anymore, but yeah.
Look for it in the future, for sure.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against. If you've done evil in secret, you are supposed to confess sins. You are supposed to make it right with those who you have hurt. You're supposed to be honest with your soul. Be honest with Yahuwah. The law of being a Nazir. If Yahuwah has the laws for those who want to become Nazirites, you don't cut your hair, you don't eat anything grape-related, wine, raisins, grapes, and you don't touch dead, or bad things will happen and someone near you will die. Wears these on the four corners of your garments. They're supposed to have blue tassels on our four corners, and they're supposed to be a remembrance for whenever we go out, we can remember that we are Torah keepers. The laws of whoever touches a corpse. If you were to touch a corpse, you're supposed to bathe in water, you're supposed to clean yourself. A corpse is unclean, even though it was a person, it is still unclean. It is death, and it brings on bacteria and brings on sickness, and you're supposed to cleanse yourself if you had anything to do with the body at that time. Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance. During this command, what happened was there was a man who died who only had 4 daughters, and there were basically ways to distribute the inheritance to them. Law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah. If you make an oath to Yahuwah, you are to keep it. And if a woman makes an oath, or if she's in her father's house, then her oath can be voided if the man of the house so chooses. If a man makes an oath to Yahuwah, it must be kept. Do not add or take away from the word. Yahuwah gave us his commands, and we are supposed to follow them to a T. We are supposed to follow them to perfection. We are not supposed to add and take away. We are not supposed to pick and choose how we want to worship, how we want to obey the commands. We are supposed to do, as he says, adding and taking away disrespects his commands. Guard your soul. We can guard our soul by listening to Yahuwah, and things we do, we should always think, does this go right by the Torah? Would this be something that would be correct? Learn to fear Yahuwah. Learning to fear Yahuwah is obedience to him, it is reverence, it is respect to him. We will hold him in the highest regard above all things. You should love Yahuwah with all your heart. You're supposed to give Yahuwah your everything, and you are supposed to put him as your number one priority. Bind the laws upon your hand and the front between your eyes. Whenever we should be thinking about it, wherever we go, we should be thinking about the Torah. They should basically be between our eyes because we are always thinking and seeing them. Write the laws on your doorposts. When you have the laws, and you are supposed to remember them as you go out, as you come in, as you go out your days. That's why we write them on our doorposts. Do not tempt 𝐉𝐄. We are not supposed to tempt 𝐉𝐄. We are not supposed to try to get him to hurt us or do something else. We are not supposed to do anything that tempts 𝐉𝐄 into destroying the children of Israel. Do what is right and good in the sight of 𝐉𝐄. When we are thinking about things, we should think, would 𝐉𝐄 approve this, or are we the ones who would approve this? Do not be afraid of your enemies. When we go out to war, when we go out to battle, 𝐉𝐄 is there with us. He said he is protecting us, he fights for us. He is the person that fights our battles for us, and we should not fear our enemies. So fear is a lack of faith in 𝐉𝐄. Remember 𝐉𝐄. We should remember 𝐉𝐄. We should remember his name. We should remember he is our creator. The world has forgotten him, but we do not have to forget him. Circumcise your heart. Just like the physical circumcision, we need to enter the covenant with 𝐉𝐄. Cleave to 𝐉𝐄. You're supposed to strive to be with him. Strive to get as close as possible you can to him, to follow his commands, to be his people, to be his own person, to be his servant. Swear by his name. If we do swear, we should only be by the name of 𝐉𝐄. It shouldn't be by anything else. But we really shouldn't be doing much swearing anyways. Destroy graven images. If there was an idol or something that is a graven image in your midst, you were supposed to take it down. You're supposed to burn the place around it. You're supposed to get rid of this thing because it is unholy and it is something that will bring curse upon you. Do not make an idol of 𝐉𝐄 as the pagans do their Elohim. 𝐉𝐄 does not need us to make him a physical form or some kind of idol, something that we go and worship and call it 𝐉𝐄. He does not want that. He wants us to have faith and not have a physical form. Rejoice in all 𝐉𝐄 has blessed you with. Everything we have came from 𝐉𝐄. Every breath of air, every drink of water, everything came from 𝐉𝐄. Do not do what is right in your own eyes. That is what the rest of the world does. They do what is right in their own eyes, and that is what goes against 𝐉𝐄, because if you do what's right in your own eyes and it is against 𝐉𝐄, that will bring curse on you. That will bring sin on your name. Do not hearken to the words of false prophets. We are supposed to test our prophets, and if they are leading us to go astray or telling us to go the way 𝐉𝐄 doesn't want us to go, and we know they are false prophets, then we are supposed to abandon them and not follow their words. Do not make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. Something else the pagans did, we assume, is probably shaving the eyebrows. You shall not eat any abominable thing. Things that are abominable to 𝐉𝐄 are the pork, it is the shrimp, it is the unclean food. So that is an abomination to him, and we are not supposed to eat it. He repeats it several times throughout the commands to stay away from the abominable foods, because he loves us so much. He does not want us to get this sickness. He does not want us to get what is not meant for us and to die from the evil food that are not supposed to be eaten. You shall give to a stranger of clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it. If a clean animal dies of itself, just tips over and dies, you shouldn't eat it, but you give it to the stranger and give them some food. Give tithe your increase of seed year by year. When the priests were around, you would take a certain amount of your seed that you got and you would give it to the priest. Nowadays, you can do this by helping the poor, giving them what they need. Laws at the end of the 7-year lease. At the end of 7 years, we had a jubilee. You had something to release the people from their debts, from their slavery, from certain things. You were supposed to release them after 7 years. Do not borrow from the nations. We're not supposed to borrow or rent up from the nations, because the nations will end up putting us in debt. We'll become slaves to them, and bad things will happen because they do not believe in our Elohim. Do not harden your heart nor shut your hand from the poor. We should help the poor if they need something. We should help them out. We shouldn't be stuck up and not help them. Guard month 1 of 𝐉𝐄's calendar. Month 1 is when the feasts start coming in. This is when we have the first yearly feast, where we get Passover, we get unleavened bread, we get and we go into the feast of first fruits. But we are close to Passover. Those who are celebrating on the Zadoki calendar, we will be celebrating Passover very soon. You shall make judges and officers in all your gates. In a rightful land, you would put judges and officers so things could go right. So you would have an actual people who could see things and not corrupt people. Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar. The Asherah poles are used for idolatry. We're not supposed to put them next to the altar or plant them at all. We shouldn't be worshiping Asherah or being planting them or touching them. It has nothing to do with us.
It's the wife of Nimrod is who that is.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. When a matter needs to be established, you were supposed to get 2 or 3 witnesses before any matter, anything was there. You're not supposed to take the word of one person. You have to take the word of at least 2 or 3 people for a matter to be established. Hearken unto the prophet Yahuwah is chosen. If Yahuwah chooses a prophet and he is proven to be Yahuwah's prophet, then we listen to him and we obey what he tells us to do. The prophet test of Deuteronomy. There was a test to see if he was a lawful, if he was a actual true prophet, or if he was a false one, by listening to what he says and see if it comes true, and if it doesn't, then they would stone him. Do not remove your neighbor's property line. If you had a property line and you wanted it slightly bigger, you're not supposed to take it and make theirs smaller to make yours bigger. Another command in honesty, another command in not coveting after what your neighbor has. I don't know, just the false witness among Torah keepers. People that were lying and saying they were punished if they were false witnessing and trying to hurt their neighbors, whatever punishment they were trying to conduct on their person they were false witnessing about, that was going to happen to them. The first child is the adult portion. This is so that the first child can be the leader, so he can take care of the others when things go bad. If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them. Another command, just like before, return your any cattle, but this time is return your brother's cattle or clothes. You're supposed to return it. If it's your brother, you know who it is. You're supposed to take it back to him. You're supposed to return it to him. A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, or a man wear what pertains to a woman. That is perversion. You know, to stay away from these perverse type things. This is not something that we should be doing or wanting to do. If you find a bird's nest, the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother. The reason that is so the mother can go and have more eggs, so you don't wipe out the type of whatever. If you build a new house with a flat roof that is able to be lived on, you must put a railing around it. Back in the day, roofs were flat. They were different. They were not the angled roofs you have now. They were actually able to live on. It was basically a second floor that you had in the house. And Yahuwah cares so much about these people. He does not want these people falling off the roofs and getting hurt or dying. Do not be a prostitute. That is more perversion, more sickness. Yahuwah says, do not do that. We're supposed to be holy people, and being a prostitute is not holy. Do not use dirty money. If you got money from somehow by doing some kind of evilness, you should not use it. You should not even have that money. The law of divorce. Yahuwah set up a certain Torah of divorce, a certain way to correctly do things, even though he does not want man and woman to separate once they have joined to one flesh. Because of their heart in his heart, he made this law for them. Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge. A person's millstone is auction at all times they had. So they had to make their foods, how they could make their money. And we're not supposed to take that. If someone pledged something to us, trying to take a loan or something, if we don't take this as collateral, we don't take this as a pledge. Do not oppress a hired servant. If you lend your brother to enter his house to get your payment, he must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge. If you loan something to someone, do not enter their house. Do not forcibly enter their house to get your payment. You should wait for them to give it to you instead of barging in.
Don't be a demon Donald Trump.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy. Just like the people that are disabled, do not oppress them any more than they are. They are already in a tough situation. You're supposed to treat these people with love and compassion. Every man is put to death for his own sin. Every person is put to death for their own sin. They are not punished for the sins of their friends or their family. They are punished for what they did themselves. Do not go back for the God and chief in the field, for the stranger, fatherless, and widow. If you take everything out of your field and you forget something, just leave it there. You don't need it. The widow, the fatherless, those who are poor, they need it. Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain. If you had an ox and you had a field that you were plowing, your ox needs power too. It needs fuel to keep going. If you muzzle it, you are harming it. You are abusing the animal. If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and the firstborn after your brother. If your brother dies with no child and he is married, you're supposed to take his wife and you're supposed to raise up the child in his place and name the child for him so his legacy continues on. At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah, the Feast of Tabernacles. Every 7 years, when all the people of Israel would congregate in Jerusalem, they would read the Torah in front of them and have them all listen.
All right, so there you guys go. These are the simplest things that we can ever come up with. These are not hard. You don't need a lawyer to explain them to you. We don't need some sort of mathematician to tell us what they are. We simply read them, and we either, by default, keep them, or by default, serve Hasatan. So there's no middle ground, and there's nothing like that. And ignorance is not bliss when we're standing in the fire. Here we are, guys. We are going to hit into the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 27. And so we are ending. We're getting close to the end. I think it's 36 in this thing? I think
34.
34. We're getting towards the end of Deuteronomy. I don't know where we're going to go from here. Maybe we'll start back into Bereshith and Genesis, but I don't know. Jade, will you please give us a recap of our homeboy Moshe, what he did, what he's doing, where they're at right now, what's the scoop?
Moshe started this journey with the people of Israel when he's about 80 years old. He's 120 years old now. He's really old. He was already old before, but now he's really old. And he has been through a lot. In his old age, he's had to fight these people. He's had to stop them from rising up, heard their complaints, their cries. He got them out of Egypt. He protected them. They ridicule him. They try to hurt him. They don't believe him. Everything that Yahuwah has done for them, they hate. And it upsets Moshe because Moshe believes in Yahuwah completely, 100%. And these people forget what Yahuwah has done for them. They forget the miracles. So Moshe ends up having to pray for these people and stop punishments that come upon these people for crying about food or water or about the land that they're in. And they fear the enemies. Yahuwah says, don't fear your enemies. And they immediately forget not to fear the enemies. And then Yahuwah punishes them, and Moshe prays for them again.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for Moshe. When you do not get to go into the promised land, that you have worked and you have had to listen to these people complain and moan and all of this stuff for 40 years, and you're still not able to go in, there's something to be said here. Because for those who have ever employed people, when you fire them per se, it's not going to be good. But Moshe was punished and still was the leader of this group, right? He did not say, you know what, I don't get to go in, I'm done. He fought to the bitter end. And this is, Moshe is he's a legend, right? He's a legend when it comes to dealing with people. And if any of us had, a fraction of the patience that Moshe had, we would be better people. Definitely. So here we are, Devarim, chapter 27. And Moshe, with the elders of Yisrael, commanded the people, saying, guard all the commands which I am commanding you today. My friends, my family, those who are listening to this incredible reading, guard all the commands which I am commanding you today. Before you say, wait, I'm not standing here with Moshe for this time. He's not commanding me nothing. I don't have to do any of this stuff. What are you talking about? What we're talking about is that the scriptures say these laws, these statutes, these commands which he is commanding everybody today are for all times, all peoples, all generations, all decades, all centuries, all millenniums. Everybody, all of us, right? It ain't just today. It's for all time. And so if you want to be a child of the Most High, this is where the walk begins. Guard. And for those of you who don't understand what the word guard means, that doesn't mean putting the laws on the cross. When you say the laws of our Creator are dead, that's the opposite of guarding the commandments. You're killing the commandments, right? You're allowing the commandments of the Creator to not be guarded. For those that have any kind of fight experience, or those who understand that when somebody tells you to put your dukes up, you're going to put your dukes up to guard yourself, right? You're going to attempt not to get punched in the head. That's what putting your dukes up. Now, the opposite of that is just allowing yourself to be hit. So guarding, which we are told over 53 times in the first 5 books of scriptures alone, and that doesn't account for all the other scriptures throughout it, that says the laws are for all generations. And it shall be, Moshe continues on the day when you pass over the Yarden to the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you, that you shall put up for yourselves large stones and plaster them with plaster, and write on them all the words of this Torah when you have passed over, so that you go into the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers has spoken to you. I apologize for my dog. I don't know. There's just too many of them. Continuing on, right? And guys, it's not just that these people inherited a land of milk and honey back then. Guys, do you have a refrigerator? And if you don't have a refrigerator, do you still take a breath? Right? Are we everything that we have is a blessing, is a baraka from our Creator, that it is great, right? We are in a land of milk, of flowing honey, with milk and honey, because we have scriptures. We have the scriptures right before our eyes, and that is the milk, and that is the honey. And when we embrace this milk and honey in our lives, then all of a sudden everything else becomes almost mute, right? All of this other worldly stuff that's going on around us, right? We know we have the milk and honey because we have the Torah. And this is what it is for all people, all times, all generations. And it shall be, when you have passed over the Yarden, that on Mount Ivol, and you put up these stones, which I command you today, and you shall plaster them with plaster, and build an altar to Yahuwah your Elohim there, an altar of stones. Do not use an iron tool on them. Okay? So this is where the commandment that we go over comes from, right? In the scriptures, in the event that you are going to build an altar to Yahuwah, which there's no commandment saying you can't, I'd be very, very concerned about sacrificing something on it. I don't think that is in anyone's best interest these days. But if you do, don't. Now I'm not saying do a sacrifice. I'm saying you're built an altar. Don't use an iron tool on it. Continue on. Build the altar of Yahuwah your Elohim with complete stones. You shall not offer burnt offerings on it to Yahuwah your Elohim.
You shall.
Oh, did I say not? Oh, yes. And you shall. Thank you. Offer burnt offerings on it to Yahuwah your Elohim, and shall offer peace offerings and eat there, and rejoice before Yahuwah your Elohim. And you shall write all the words of this Torah on the stones, plainly and well. Now, my friends, we live in this world that everybody's like, well, the laws are dead. Why would our Creator have these people go to this new land, go find a bunch of stones that they didn't run tools on, put up an altar, put plaster all over it, and write the words of the Torah, right? Does this sound like something that's dead and gone? Does this sound like something that we should forget? That we should let the satanic religious system take from our minds? This is not it. This is why we are always telling everybody the greatest thing you can ever do for your life is to walk the Torah. Before you can walk the Torah, though, you have to learn the Torah. You can't. If you've said all your life that the laws are dead, and you've had these greaser pastors that are sitting up there telling you the laws are dead, and you just go and live that satanic world, right? Plainly and well, we are told that the Torah lives and exists. And Moshe and the Kohanim, the priests, the Levites, spoke to Yisrael, saying, "Be silent and hear, O Yisrael. This day you have become the people of Yahuwah your Elohim. And you shall obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, and do his commands and his laws, which I command you today." Guys, we just learned the recipe for salvation. We just learned what the recipe for salvation was. We don't have to have a Christian religion. We don't have to be Mormons or Catholics or any of these other satanic religions, because right here, Moshe, the man Moshe, tells us, "O Yisrael, this day you have become the people of Yahuwah your Elohim." Now, what did they do to become the people of Elohim, right? Well, they heard and they obeyed the laws, statutes, and commandments that we just read about, right? Having this, right? They have an altar. They plastered it. They put the Torah commands right there. This is what they are serving. So by them serving this set of commands that the Creator has given to us, we are serving the Creator of the universe. And when we obey the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim, and we do his commands and his laws, which he's commanding us today, that's what the Torah walk is all about. It's not about set and forget. It's not about living our best life now. It's about walking the Torah to the very best of our ability is every single day and aligning our lives. And we're not going to get the Torah perfect. We're not going to walk this perfect. We're not some Johnny do-gooders that are better than anyone else. I've said it before. Those who know the Torah understand that we are far worse than the rest of the world. We know what iniquity is. And you can't ask the Christians what iniquity is. You can't ask them. And when you look at the definition of what iniquity is, it's lawlessness. It's Torahlessness. And so we have an entire world that lives in iniquity when the scriptures very clearly say iniquity is a death sentence. That we will not make the kingdom with this. Continuing on. These are to stand on Mount Gerizim to Barak, to bless the people. When you have passed over the Yarden, Shimon and Levi and Yehudah and Yissachar and Yosef and Benjamin. And these are to stand on Mount Ivol to curse Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak with a loud voice and say to all the men of Yisrael, "Cursed is the man who makes a carved or molded image, an abomination to Yahuwah, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and puts it up in secret. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. Cursed is he who makes light of his father or his mother. And all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who moves his neighbor's property, his boundary. And all the people shall say, Amen. Guys, for those that have hung out on this channel, we're simply reiterating the same commandments that we go for every single week, right? Remember this, guys? Don't move your neighbor's boundary line, right? You're cursed. It literally says you're cursed. You're cursed if you disrespect your father and mother. Whoa, cursed. That's a heavy word, right? I mean, this is not what we're looking for, right? Cursed is he who misleads the blind in the way, and all the people shall say, Amen. So here we are. We have a person that's blind, and there's been some problems where people have misled the blind. We have a commandment to do not hurt the disabled. Is a blind person disabled? Yes. Obviously, we were having problems with the people that were afflicted and people messing with them. 19. Cursed is he who twists the right ruling of the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. And all the people shall say, Amen. Now, this is something that is, you have to be very, very careful when you're reading the letters of Shaul, right? Because in a way, Shaul ends up cursing the widows. And before you guys pick up the rocks, all the Shaul lovers, please understand that the widows and the fatherless and the stranger, those are our people. Those are the people we're to take care of. So when you read Shaul's letter and he says, this isn't a widow unless she's X amount of years old, she has done this and this, she has done this and this, you're cursing these people because people aren't going to lift a finger because Shaul said, Paul said, got to keep it, right? Continuing on. Cursed is he who lies with any beast, and all the people shall say, Amen. It's obviously a tragedy. Cursed is he who lies with his sister and the daughter of his father or the daughter of his mother, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who lies with his mother-in-law, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who smites his neighbor secretly, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who takes a bribe to slay an innocent being, and all the people shall say, Amen. Cursed is he who does not establish the words of this Torah. Big stuff, right? Cursed is he who does not establish the words of this Torah. Now, we're talking the Torah. The Torah is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's what we have, right? So, in this Torah, if you say that the laws, statutes, and commandments are dead, you have fallen under verse 26. You have become cursed by your own actions and by your own words and by the words of scriptures. If you do not establish the words of the Torah, you're cursed. So imagine all these people running around in these 400,000 different religions that think they're all blessed. Everybody out there speaking in their demonic tongues. Everybody out there doing all this satanic Pentecostal stuff, right? It's just crazy. So the Torah is the key. And those who are keeping the Torah are absolutely in the cool kids club. All right, what do you got?
Sarah has a question.
Hi, Sarah.
What if our parents did evil things to us that are unforgivable in Yah's eyes?
Well, that's the thing is what are we talking about that's unforgivable in Yah's eyes, right? Because we don't know of anything that's unforgivable unless it's blasphemy against the Ruach HaKodesh. And, you know, we talk about this quite a bit because I have counseled people that have been abused by family members, that have been abused by brothers and sisters and people and families and uncles and aunts and all these other people. And the problem is that in all of these levels of abuse, we all carry scars of us. Not a single one of us are okay, right? The little girl that's been abused by her family members, the uncle that molested, nobody's okay, right? Nobody's okay. You will grow up having problems probably with sexuality and the entire the proper role of a relationship. And so when we are, you know, all of our parents, my mother abused me. At the end of the day, you can say that my mother abused me for years, for almost decades. Not decades, over decade, about a decade and a half till I ended that. And it's something that I carried along with me. How long? Till I actually start talking to my mother again?
Geez, within the last 5 years, I think.
So I carried that along with me, that I would not even talk to her because I could not handle her. I remember the abuse as a child. I remember her holding me down. I remember being beat. I remember it day after day after day. And it's something that you can destroy yourself at the expense of destroying yourself, or you can understand that the people they are now, most of the time, are not the evil people they were back then. Time changes everything. And the problem with us holding on to these grudges and holding on to this evil and holding on to our hearts being dark is that it only punishes us. We're the only ones being punished. The people that we're ticked off at, that we can't stand, that we think should burn in hell, they don't even care, right? They're living their great life. They don't even know how much they have destroyed us. So at the end of the day, if nothing else, if we are able to forgive these people for our own selves and for our own ways and for the Torah, because that doesn't say it's okay, right? It doesn't say what these people did was okay. It doesn't say that you're okay with what was done to you. But what we can say is that we do not want to continue on with this darkness in our life, and we don't have to be re-abused, right? And this comes up a lot. People were like, well, this guy sexually molested me, or the sexual molest. Okay, if this guy molested you when you were growing up, you're not going to drop your kids off at grandpa's house and allow this to happen, right? You do not have to continue in the violence. You do not have to forget, but you need to forgive, because that begins the process of healing. And that begins the process of this. And again, all your anger isn't doing anything to these people. You're not affecting these people in one least bit of an iota. But here's what you have to understand is these people will pay in eternity for these kind of deception if they don't repent. If these people have not repented, if these people have not turned to Yah, if these people have not changed their life and soaked up in the Torah, then they will get probably what they deserve. And that's something that just be glad we're not the revenger, that we're not this, that we're not Yahuwah, that he is slow and patient and kind with all of us. And this is one of these things. But again, you don't have to re-injure yourself. And again, some of us are so abused that it's a lifetime. It's just we're damaged for life. And the best that we can do is seek Yah, seek his ways, and pray that our hearts will forgive these monsters that did these damages and this evil to us. But just protect yourselves and protect your soul. All right, here we are. Let's get into the next thing. We are into the book of 𝐤𝐄𝐄, another fantastic book. How many chapters in this? Are we done?
21. This last
21. This is it. This is it. And I think we're going to do what Sister Barb and Crew said. I think we're going to go into the book of James after this. I think we're going to roll into James. That's a fantastic book. I think there's only like 5 chapters. That'll give us 5 weeks on this. So, all right, give me a breakdown, everybody, of where we're at with 𝐤𝐄𝐄. Anybody?
So, Yehoshua did his time.
Who's Yehoshua?
He is the Messiah. People know him as Jesus. We know him as Yehoshua. Some people say Yeshua. It just depends. It's anything closer than Jesus.
And I gotta interrupt you guys, because here's something that most people will not understand unless you're an audio engineer. And I will have to say that as my current job, I'm doing audio engineer work. When you say the word Yahuwah, and you say it comes out Yahweh, it's a matter of speed. Like if you slow, like if you guys listen to Yah scriptures and you listen to the audio side of it, sometimes it says Yahuwah and sometimes it says Yahweh. And it is a matter of like a fraction of a millisecond speed up or speed down. And so as people are saying Yahushua or Yeshua or Yahshua or Yahoshua, right? This is the thing is, when you say those names to our Messiah, he's going to turn around. He'll probably turn around if you say Jesus as well, because I don't think he's going to be upset if we know this in ignorance. But this is the thing is for all of you guys that are stuck on a pronunciation that this is the way it is or this is the way it is, I would encourage you guys to simply record your voice and slow it down and speed it up, and it's the same thing, right? It's simply how fast you say it. Even a Yahuwah, like we say it, comes out Yahweh when you speed that up. So Jake, continue on with that. Sorry to interrupt you.
So he did his teaching. He went all over Israel teaching. He went outside of Judah. And he would teach the people, show them what the world could be like, a better way outside of burdens. He had a lot of enemies. People really hated him. They plotted to kill him, and they did. They caught him at a Passover after his feast. One of his 12 disciples betrayed him, and he ended up being crucified. So then they put him into a tomb, Mary, and just went over to anoint his body and do all the stuff for him. She had his respect. He wasn't there. He was gone. That was 3 days later, and he had risen from the dead like he said he would, and he all right, went back and teach the people. And now we're here after he came back, and the people doubted him. Thomas didn't believe he was actually alive. Thomas didn't believe it was such a thing that he could actually be alive again. And Thomas has some doubting issues, but
he has some doubting issues.
He got over that.
But there's also something to be said that nobody was able to recognize Messiah Yahushua, right? Right out of the gate, nobody could recognize him, right? Even on the road, there was something mysterious about his return, to where it wasn't like eyes were not fully open or something. There was more of the story, and I don't know exactly what it was, but it's really weird in scriptures that there's nobody figured it out, but when they do, that it's like, oh, he's right here. Okay, here we are. 1 Yochanan chapter 21. After this, Yahushua manifested himself again to the Talmidim at the Sea of Kinnereth, and he manifested this way. Shimon, Kepha, and Toma, called the twin, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and Zabadai, and 2 others of his Talmidim were together. Shimon Kepha said to them, I am going to fish. They said to him, we are also coming with you. They went out and immediately entered into the boat, and that night they caught none at all. But when it became early morning, Yahushua stood on the beach. However, the Talmidim did not know that it was Yahushua. Then Yahushua said to them, children, have you any food? They answered him, no. And he said to them, throw the net on the right side of the boat, and you shall find. So they threw, and they were no longer able to draw it in because of the large number of fish. Guys, this is another miracle, right? This is you're trying to tell people that have lived their entire lives in the fishing industry that they need to toss the net over to the other side, right? These people are professionals. These people have lived their entire life at sea. Their entire way of making money is getting in a boat every single day and going out, capturing fish, getting the fish. And so if there was anybody who would know how to fish properly, it would be these guys that were out there in the boat. So when Messiah says, throw the net on the other side of the boat and you shall find, number one is they didn't quite know it was Messiah. And they probably were thinking to themselves, who is this guy? What difference would one side of the boat or the other be? And for those who've been fishing, it depends on where you're at to catch, but it's, if you're drawing with a giant net, you would pretty much think that one side would be the same as the other side. Continuing on. 7. The Talmud, the disciples whom Yahushua loved, then said to Kepha, it is the Adon. Then Shimon Kepha, hearing that it was the Adon, put on his outer garment, for he was stripped, and plunged into the sea. Now, this is an interesting verse, right? This is, a bunch of fishermen that are on the ship. Obviously, you get down into your skivvies probably. But whatever it was, right before he jumps in the water, he actually dresses up. And I find that somewhat fascinating because he's going to end up completely soaked. Whereas, I don't know, maybe it was disrespectful to go in your skivvies or something and to hold your clothes above your head when you jump in the water. Or he was okay being wet. Either way, that was how it went down. And I would imagine it was straight out of excitement and the dude just bails over the ship and starts flying. 8. And the other Talmidim came in the little boat, for they were not far from the land, but about 200 Pechem, dragging the net with them. So when they had come to land, they saw a fire of coals there and fish laid on it and bread. Yahushua said to them, bring some of the fish which you have caught. Shimon Kepha went up and dragged the net to land, filled with 153 big fish. And though there were so many, the net was not broken. All right, this is the bread. This is the toasted bread and butter of this entire chapter. Because this is the lesson for all of us. Is number one, we just didn't get 153 big fish. In Hebrew gematria, 153 relates out. And for those who don't know what gematria is, it's there's the occultist side of gematria, and then there is the other side of gematria. And all the Satanists, they have their own little codes and numbers, and they love 33, and they love all their Satanist numbers. But yet, when you come up with proper gematria that you're looking at, and 153 equates to something, and in Hebrew it equates to the words sons of Elohim. So what do we make from this? Well, we know that these guys were out there fishing for fish. And we know that they caught zero. They caught nothing. And then when Messiah had them toss that net over, then they catch 153, and the net never broke. Now this verse is one of the main reasons that you guys even know who we are. Because this verse became something very big back in the days when we learned from this verse that we weren't supposed to be fishing for fish, but that we were supposed to be fishing for the sons of Elohim. That we were supposed to be fishing for the sons and daughters of the Most High, those who were the stragglers, those who were not able to be caught up in this net, those who are out there. And this is the one reason that we are so heavy in music. Because we know from decades and decades that the devil has used music to infiltrate the hearts, minds, and souls of the people and make them Satanists, singing these satanic words and musics and tunes and this demonic stuff and this entire bloodthirsty place. Well, music came from the creator of the universe. That's the joy of music. That's the joy of this. And we're using the same thing that the devil has done to get. And we're out there and we're fishing for the sons of Elohim. We're fishing for those that we can catch with these groovy beats, that we can have them with Kodesh lyrics, that we can send them in the right direction, that we can do whatever possible to try to attempt them and get their attention. Because once you're able to find this attention span of some people, then you're able to feed them the bread of life. You're able to show them that there is a way other than this dead law theories. That the sons of Elohim are people that serve our Creator. That we are the sons of Elohim. That we, if we keep these laws and statutes and commandments, are the ones. So in our endeavors out there every day and every bit of this week, guys, are you tossing your nets to the other side? Are you looking for those stragglers? Now you're going to catch a bunch of bad fish. You're going to catch the unclean food as well. But you know what? If we do not fish, if we're not out there proactively bringing this kingdom in, if we're not speaking Yahuwah's name, Yahushua's name, teaching people these ways, who's going to do it? Do we wait for these guys somewhere else, bathroom Bobs? Who is it? If it is not us fishing for men, who is it? Guys, I would love to encourage all of you guys out there to be fishermen, to do this, to take this example right here and make sure you understand your net will not be broken. Right? We can put radio stations up. We can put 10,000 songs up, and this net isn't going to be broken. We're going to still bring in fishing. We're still going to bring in men and women. 12, Yahushua said to them, "Come, have breakfast." And not one of the Talmidim had the courage to ask him, "Who are you?" knowing that it was the Adon. Yahushua came and took the bread and gave it to them, and the same with the fish. This was now the third time Yahushua was manifested to his Talmidim after he was raised from the dead. When therefore they had eaten breakfast, Yahushua said to Shimon Kepha, "Shimon of Yonah, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Adonai, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Feed my lambs." He said to him again, the second time, "Shimon of Yonah, do you love me?" Shimon says this. He said to him, "Yes, Adonai, you know that I love you." Messiah, he said to him, "Shepherd my sheep." 17, he said to him the third time, "Shimon of Yonah, do you love me?" Kepha was sad because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Adonai, you know all. You know that I love you." Yahushua said to him, "Feed my sheep." So we get done learning about 153 fish that the net was unable to tear. And then the question becomes to Kepha, and the question becomes to all of us. Do you love Messiah Yahushua? And if your answer is yes, my response to you is a reiteration of what Messiah said. Feed his sheep. take care of his sheep. Garner them, take care of them, corral them. Give them the bread of life. If not us, then who? Truly, truly, I say to you, when you were younger, you girded yourself and walked where you wanted. But when you are old, you shall stretch out your hand, and another shall gird you and bring you where you do not want. Now this he said, signifying by what death he would esteem Elohim. And having said this, he said to him, follow me. And 𝐉𝐄, turning around, saw the Talmud whom Yahushua loved following, who also had leaned on his breast at the supper and said, Adonai, who is the one who's delivering you up? Seeing him, 𝐉𝐄 said to Yahushua, but Adonai, what about this one? Yahushua said to him, if you want him to remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me. Therefore this word went out among the brothers, that this Talmud would not die. However, Yahushua did not say to him that he would not die, but if you desire him to remain until I come, what is that to you? This is the Talmud who bears witness about these and wrote these. And we know that his witness is true. This is 𝐉𝐄, right?
Yep.
Now there's much else that Yahushua did. This is important right here, guys. If every one of them were written down, I think that the world itself would not contain the books. Amen. Wow. What a tremendous book. What a great read. Guys, this is it. What a legacy. What a legendary last chapter of this book. What a story for all of us that we have instructions from the Messiah of the universe, the Messiah, the one and only, on how we are to operate. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to be out there building this kingdom up. And how do we build it up? Is it by giving our 10% to these little grease balls that are sitting inside of these 501c3 churches that are lying their teeth off to us as they get rich? No, it's nothing like that. Guys, we can feed the sheep of our Creator. We can feed them today. And that's sometimes stepping outside of our comfort zone. Sometimes that's putting ourselves in situations where we're laughed at. The Christians laugh at us. The people laugh at us. Those who are not interested. We're not looking for the group, guys. We are looking for the crumbs. We're looking for the individuals. We're looking for the people like you and me who just happen to come straggle around, and all of a sudden it is the right time. Our eyes have been opened. We've seen enough. There's something else. There's got to be. And we take what people are teaching us and we're putting it with that. So our friends and our family, we love you guys very, very much. We are going to be ending this with a couple of songs, and then we're going to be going live at 1:30. I popped it over to 1:30. So guys, on the same channel, we have a bunch of Shabbat music. We have a bunch of praise and worship for all y'all out there. We hope that you guys have a beautiful, wonderful Shabbat. We love you all tremendously. Thank you guys for being a part of this. And Jade, will you please bid our brothers and sisters a farewell?
Yehovah block you and guard you. Yehovah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yehovah lift his face upon you and give you peace.
Okay. All right, everybody, here we are. We're going to fire up the last thing we have, and we got a couple songs right here.
Look inside, don't pretend. Yah repairs what we are meant to men when to pray. A chariot must be checked for flaws, or it will crash without Yah's law. So if you hide behind fake glass, you'll miss the lesson, it won't pass. A chariot must be checked for flaws, or it will crash without Yah's law. Pray like a mirror, not for fame. Yah cleans hearts, always the same. The humble rises, the proud falls down. Torah truth earns Yah's crown. So we pray with honest breath, not just words, but life and death. Yah loves truth inside the soul. That's what makes a person whole. Pray like a mirror, not for fame. Yah cleans hearts, always the same. The humble rises, the proud falls down. Torah truth earns Yah's crown. Yehovah, open up our eyes so we won't live for empty prize. Teach us Torah, make us see we'll last through all eternity. Do not love the silver, do not love the gold. Only Torah truth will never grow cold. Show us mercy, teach us right. Walk with Yahushua in the light. Yahuwah, shape our hearts inside before we face the great divide. There was a rich man dressed in pride, purple robes and feasting wide. At his gate a beggar lay, starving there from day to day. Scraps were thrown but never cared. No love, no help, no heart to share. Do not love the silver, do not love the gold. Only Torah truth will never grow cold. Show us mercy, teach us right. Walk with Yahshua in the light. Yahuwah, shape our hearts inside before we face the great divide. Then the beggar died in pain, but in shalom he rose again. His soul went up to light so bright, to Father's righteous, clean and right. The rich man died and stood alone in darkness where his pride was shown. Do not love the silver, do not love the gold. Only Torah truth will never grow cold. Show us mercy, teach us right. Walk with Yahshua in the light. Yahuwah, shape our hearts inside before we face the great divide. The rich man cried, Father, please send a drop to cool my heat. But from the light a voice replied, my Ben, you chose your place to hide. You had good things, he had none. Now comfort's his, your days are done. Do not love the silver, do not love the gold. Only Torah truth will never grow cold. Show us mercy, teach us right. Walk with Yahushua in the light. Yahuwah, shape our hearts inside before we face the great divide. He begs send warners to my kin so they won't fall in this same sin. But the great soul answers strong. They have Torah all along. Nothing speaks more clear than this. Not even one race from the abyss. Do not love the silver. Oh, do not love the gold. Oh, only Torah truth will never grow cold. Show us mercy, teach us right. Walk with Yahushua in the light. Yahuwah, shape our hearts inside before we face the great divide.
All right, beautiful brothers and sisters, we love you guys. We hope that you guys have a wonderful day. We are going to be going live here in about 15 minutes, and I think you guys will really enjoy this. It's some really upbeat Shabbat music, and we got some great music for the rest of this Shabbat. We love you all. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine upon you. May the Torah be a part of your lives. May our Messiah always be a part of everything in your life. May we all greet each other in the kingdom to come as loyal people of Yah's kingdom. Shabbat shalom.